Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your monthly intuitive reading for October 2021. Can you believe we're into October already this year? It's my birthday month, yay! So for this month's monthly reading, we will be using the Sirian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message for everyone. Your special message card this month, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. Just a little announcement also, many of you know that for the past few weeks during the month of September, I was in the process of packing and getting ready to move. It was kind of an unexpected thing because I was planning on staying and renting where I was, but my landlady decided at the beginning of the month of September to sell her house, and that meant that I had to find a place, pack, and move and relocate before the end of the month of September. So a lot of you have been waiting to hear where I actually moved, and I, of all places, not that it's a bad place by any means, if anybody lives in South Carolina, I'm sure it's a lovely state, but I've never been there. And so this is going to be a brand new adventure for me. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what South Carolina has to offer. It's going to be in the northern part of South Carolina, closer to the Appalachian Mountains, maybe about an hour or so away. So I'm really looking forward to that because I do miss the mountains of Oregon. So we'll see how many pictures I can get on my road trip to relocate there. And of course, once I do settle, if I don't get any pictures to you all on Facebook ahead of time, be on the lookout for some new scenery as of the 1st of October. So really excited about that. Thank you for all of your kind comments and support, those of you that were sending out positive intentions and positive energy for me to find the perfect place, because it was getting down to the wire there before actually finding and getting accepted to a place. So, okay, so let's go ahead and start out by looking at your stones of choice. And by the way, all of my crystals and stones are packed away except for the ones that I use to meditate. So those are the ones that are going to be your stones of choice for this month of October. So the first stone of choice here, this is labradorite, and this is a raw piece of labradorite. It is Mercury retrograde, so I'm having trouble talking here. And I'm kind of switching it around here so that you can see some of the blue highlights in this particular piece of raw labradorite. Oh, that's a better side to see it. And the labradorite, instead of giving you all the metaphysical or some of the metaphysical properties of these stones of choice, what I was told was to tell you what grouping of beings you can get into contact with these particular stones of choice. So the labradorite is a stone of the stars, so to speak. So this one, if you're looking to get in touch with our star brothers and sisters of the light or other star system beings like the Pleiadians or the Sirians or the Lyrians or the Arcturians, etc., then this might be the stone of choice for you this month. The second stone of choice is this beautiful palm stone of selenite. So selenite, it's a milky, white, opaque kind of stone, high vibrational stone. And this one helps you to get in touch with the angelic and archangelic realms. So if you're looking to get in touch with your angels and the archangels, then the selenite would be your stone of choice for this month. And the last stone of choice, it's actually a pair, because often when I meditate, I'm holding either the labradorite and the selenite together, or I'm holding these two together. These are both Lemurian seed crystals. Now the one with the point is the masculine Lemurian seed, and the one with the flat top is the feminine Lemurian seed crystal. So if you're looking to get in touch with the ancient Lemurian ancestors of the light, then the Lemurian seed crystals are your stone of choice for this month. Okay, so again, we have the beautiful labradorite. I'm going to put them over here. We have the selenite, or we have the Lemurian seed crystals. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the vibration of the month of October. So if we add up the universal year for 2021, which is a 5, when we add those numbers together, and we add it to the number 10, because October is the 10th month, we get the number 15. Now, in numerology, we always like to reduce things to a single digit first to look at that base digit. So we take the 1 plus the 5 of the 15, we add it together, and we get the number 6. So the number 6 in numerology rules home and family. It rules our emotions and emotional body, and it rules the balancing of our inner world, or again, home and family, with our outer world, or our career path, our life path, our destiny path. It's a number of balance. So this is also about balancing all aspects of your life, not just the home and family with the career and the life path, but this is about balancing our emotional well-being with our physical well-being, or you could even say balancing our physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual activities in life, or areas of life. So the number 6, if you were going to relate it to a geometric shape, would be what's called the Star of David, or it could also be considered the Merkaba or Merkaba symbol, which is a triangle pointing upward and a triangle pointing downward, and they're merged together in a 3-dimensional form. And again, that indicates this idea of balance. And it also indicates healing, because the Merkaba or Merkaba, because some people pronounce it differently, this is a vehicle for healing. And we're talking about healing the emotional body, the emotional realm. Again, our inner world, or the innermost point of our soul and our being is what we're looking at here. So home and family can relate also to our ancestry, whether it be our genetic ancestry or our spiritual ancestry. So all of these things that I just mentioned are going to be a focus for the month of October. Now, we want to look at the double digit as well, the number 15. Now, sometimes I talk about karmic numbers in numerology. However, the number 15 is not one of those karmic numbers, but we're going to relate it to the 15th Major Arcana of the Tarot to get more information for the month of October. So some of you might already know what the 15th Major Arcana in the Tarot is. And in the Sirian Starseed Tarot, it's called the Shadow. Now, a lot of you might know and maybe are a little concerned or anxious that in the traditional tarot, this is known as the Devil card. The Devil card, or again in the Sirian Starseed Tarot, the Shadow, it's just all about the shadow of our subconscious, right? We can see the shadow of 2 human figures here behind a web, a spider web. That spider web is in kind of the dark of the night, so to speak. So this is about the depths of our subconscious, where our fears and our anxieties lie. So that aspect of our mind that ruminates on something, worries about something, has fears about something, this can be about a fearful subconscious pattern about your life, about a situation, about a relationship. This can just be that there's so much going on in your outer world, situation or circumstance-wise, that it's causing a lot of these anxieties and fears to crop up. What about this? What if that happens? What's going to happen if this person does or doesn't do this? Or if my boss or my friend does this or says that? So again, these are things that we're worrying about that haven't even usually come to pass. This is why it's called the shadow. So we're dealing with the healing of this shadow, or bringing light to the shadow. again, with that base number 6, the number 6 is usually a very harmonious, beautiful number in numerology. So we're talking about harmony in relationships, and we're talking about harmony with our inner and outer world, our home and family versus our life path, destiny path, career. It's all about keeping the balance and tuning into the positive emotions rather than these fearful, negative, or anxious emotions. So this, though, is going to possibly be part of the energies of the month of October for the collective. And whether this is affecting you on a collective level because you're picking up on the empathic energies, like maybe something on a worldwide level is going to come to light or is going to happen that brings up a lot of fear in the collective. But it can trickle down, and this can also be more personalized with certain personal situations and circumstances that happen in your own lives. Remember, don't get caught in the web of illusion here. Okay, these people are kind of caught up in this web of illusion, meaning whatever they're afraid of, scared of, fearful of, anxious about, usually has not even happened or occurred or presented itself yet. So they're projecting these anxieties and these fears, and quite frankly, we don't want to manifest them, so we don't want to dwell on them, right? So step outside this kind of illusion, right? Don't get caught in that web. Shine light. Again, how do you remove a shadow, right? You remove a shadow by shining light upon it. So shine your light as big and bright as you possibly can. And if you're having a difficult time shining your own light, call in your angels, your guides, the Lemurian ancestors of the light, our star brothers and sisters of the light, and ask for them to help to illuminate our path. Okay, so let's talk about the astrological highlights of the month of October. And there's quite a bit going on, I would have to say. The first highlight, of course, we don't talk about all the astrology aspects. That's what the weekly intuitive readings are for. But if we look at the first important thing that occurs in October, it's actually a new moon. And this is the new moon in the sign of Libra because basically we're in Libra season. The sun is in Libra right now. And actually, there's a couple of other planets in Libra as well. Mercury is in Libra and Mars is in Libra. So there's a lot of Libra energy going on. And Libra is the sign of partnerships, relationships, balance, harmony, equality, compromise, justice, right? It's the scale of justice. And so with this new moon on the 6th, it's at 13 degrees of Libra, meaning both the sun and the moon come together at that 13 degree of Libra point. And new moons are always about new beginnings. And so this is about a new beginning within relationship matters. And whether it's a tangible new beginning for a relationship, whether it be romantic or business or friendship or family, this could also mean a new beginning with how you perceive a relationship in general, or how you look at the relationship in question. So it might be because Libra is a sign of the mind. Libra is an air sign, which means it's about thought and perception. So this might be a new way of perceiving equality in relationship, or a new way of perceiving what compromise means in a relationship. This could also be, again, a new way of desiring relationship. So in other words, if you're in a relationship and there is a lack of equality or balance, this is a new beginning as far as how am I going to get to this idea of balance and harmony and justice that I seek? How am I going to get the equality that I desire? Might be through communication, another Libra keyword. I need to communicate my wants, needs, and desires. Or it might be about making some sort of decision on how to move forward towards getting what it is that you seek there. Now, this new moon at 13 degrees of Libra, it's actually connecting to Mars in Libra. The Mars is the warrior planet. Mars is the planet of energy, action, and forward movement. So because he's the planet of energy and action, he's putting his energy and actions towards the balancing of relationships. Now, in relationships, we can't do everything by ourselves, right? I mean, we can do our part, but relationships take two people to bring a sense of equality and respect or compromise or justice to the relationship. You can only do your part, but Mars is going to put his energy towards getting that equality, getting that idea of justice in what he's looking for in that sign of Libra. That new moon is also in what's called an inconjunct to Uranus, and an inconjunct is an aspect of adjustment, meaning there's something that needs to be adjusted in order for us to have this new beginning in this case. Uranus is about freedom and unexpected redirection or unexpected situations. And so there could be kind of this breaking free or freedom energy or independence energy that comes about. Libra wants partnership, but Uranus wants independence and freedom. So there's some sort of adjustments that have to be made with one or both parties in this case in order for this new beginning to occur. Also on the same day, the 6th of October, Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, power and control, transformation, regeneration, transmutation. Pluto is turning back to direct motion at 24 degrees of Capricorn. Now, he moves so very slowly that typically when it's either retrograde or when it's direct, we're not feeling that movement per se by itself. We do feel Pluto's involvement when it's connecting to other planets. But typically as far as its motion, like when we talk about Mercury retrograde, that whole 3 weeks of Mercury retrograde, we're really experiencing Mercury retrograde. When Pluto is retrograde, it's for almost 6 months at a time. When it's direct, it's almost 6 months at a time. So it's more difficult to feel that direct versus that retrograde motion in general. But when it first turns retrograde or when it first turns back to direct motion, that's when we feel the intensification of what Pluto stands for. So since he's turning back to direct motion on the 6th of October, probably the couple days before and the couple of days of after, especially before, and maybe 3 or 4 days before, we're going to feel the intensification of that death and rebirth energy, that transformation energy, that power, empowerment, or disempowerment energy. Pluto's like a volcano, like the magma bubbling beneath the surface and getting ready to kind of explode out. And so there could be some explosive power in those first few days of October, first week of October, that we might be experiencing, again on a collective level, but also in your own personal lives, depending on where Pluto is falling in your chart. On the 7th of October, Venus, which rules love and relationships and values and personal resources like money and finances, she's moving out of the depths of Scorpio and she's moving into light and bright Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is fire, it's inspirational, it's freedom-oriented. So here again in relationships, she might be looking for a sense of more freedom in her partnerships and relationships. She wants more excitement. She wants more adventure. Those are all key words of Sagittarius. In money or financial matters, she's looking for freedom as far as what money can do for her. Money, a sense of security financially, brings a sense of freedom, but also because Sagittarius is fire and it's mutable, which means it's changeable. If you think about mutable fire, it's fast moving and it's unpredictable. So in finances and money matters, she can be a little unpredictable too. And this can either be a risk-taking thing that actually maybe brings forth blessings, but it also could go the other way where we're taking some sort of a risk or we're doing something without necessarily thinking it through, and maybe it backfires too. So you just have to look at where Venus is connecting in your chart, what other planets it's connecting to figure out how that's going to unfold for you. Now we get into a few planets that are also turning back to direct motion. We already talked about Pluto on the 6th. But on the 10th, we have Saturn turning back to direct motion at 6 degrees Aquarius. On the 17th, Jupiter is turning back to direct motion at 22 degrees of Aquarius. And on the 18th, Mercury is turning back to direct motion at 10 degrees of Aquarius. One thing that's interesting is that they're all in Aquarius, right? These planets are all in the sign of Aquarius, which is the sign of the humanitarian or humanitarian endeavors, or people that are like-minded coming together for a common goal to help the planet, to help the collective in some way. Aquarius also rules groups of like-minded people, which we already said, but technology, technological advances. It rules future, what we can do as far as helping the future of our planet. It is about electricity. It's about the shocking, the unusual, the different. It's about independence and freedom. Both Sagittarius and Aquarius rule freedom. So here we have a lot of freedom energies here with all of these planets turning back to direct motion. So I feel like this time period is very significant. Saturn, to kind of go over what each of these planets rule, Saturn rules restriction and limitation. It rules delays, it rules karmic lessons, and he's known as the great teacher of lessons. So while Saturn was retrograde, it internalized the energy as far as what was Saturn trying to teach us on an inner level about our freedom, about our independence, about our goals, right? Because the Aquarius rules the 11th house of our goals, our dreams, our wishes. So when Saturn was retrograde, it was internalizing this energy and perhaps causing a feeling of being stuck or limited, because again, Saturn rules that limitation, restriction energy. So internally, we might have felt blocked or restricted, heavy, not able to reach our goals, not able to move forward towards our dreams, not able to feel like we were free or independent in any way, whether on a collective level or a personal level. So now Saturn's turning back to direct motion, and it's going to now affect us situationally rather than internally. When a planet is retrograde, it internalizes the energy. When it's direct, it pushes that energy out into the world within our situations and circumstances. So it's not that the delay or the restrictions or limitation energy of Saturn goes away. By the way, the positive of Saturn is that it helps to restructure something, right? It gives us form, it gives us stability, it gives us an ability to restructure. So while it was retrograde, we were restructuring the idea of our dreams. We were restructuring the idea of our independence and freedom. Now that it's turning back to direct motion, it's going to bring up these karmic lessons to the forefront a little bit more. It's almost like as it's turning direct during these, a couple of days before the 10th, a couple of days after, it's like, what did you learn? What did Saturn teach you while it was retrograde as far as how to gain back your sense of independence, how to gain back your sense of freedom, how to ground in and manifest these things, how to manifest your dreams and goals into reality? That's, I think, what Saturn at its best is trying to teach us there. And then on the 17th, with Jupiter turning back to direct motion, Jupiter rules our belief systems. It rules abundance, prosperity, and the expansion principle. So while it was retrograde, it was internalizing this energy of what are your belief systems? What do you believe in? And again, it was in Aquarius. So do you believe in your dreams? Do you believe in your goals? Do you believe that you can be free, at least on a spiritual level, right? And even on a physical level, right? You might be in a situation to where you haven't felt free for a while. So this has been mostly about looking at our belief systems on an inner level about all of these Aquarius things. Groups of like-minded people, or feeling part of a group or part of a tribe, feeling independent, feeling free, feeling like we're expanding towards our hopes, dreams, and wishes. Now that Jupiter's turning back to direct motion, we can take that internalization of looking at our belief systems about all of those things and now expand back out into the world and expand hopefully into these blessings of abundance and prosperity in these areas of our lives that we're seeking. And then on the 18th, Mercury turns back to direct motion. Now Mercury moves a little bit more quickly than Saturn and Jupiter. It's been retrograde for about 3 weeks, although the shadow period was a couple of weeks before that. Since the 6th of September, we've probably been feeling Mercury retrograde. Mercury rules our mind, our thoughts, our ideas, our perceptions, our communications. So as typical, as usual, Mercury retrograde, miscommunication, missed meetings, misrepresentation, confusion, confusion in our own thoughts. Those kind of things were happening and going on. So now that Mercury is turning direct at 10 degrees of Aquarius, we can start having the communications that were delayed starting to come in, or we can start to have clarity with the miscommunication or misunderstandings that we've been having with others. We can start to connect more clearly with these new ideas, because Aquarius is another air sign, so it's about the mental realm of ideas and inspirations. Those can start to become more clear for us again. And of course, Mercury in Aquarius, again, independence, freedom, all this freedom energy. It makes me wonder, as I'm just now saying this, with all this energy of Aquarius and freedom, in this month of October ruled by that devil card, that shadow card, I just wonder if something on a collective level might come to light as far as the restriction or limitation of our freedoms as of late. That's interesting. We'll have to wait and see how that unfolds. Okay, so the next thing of significance that happens is on the 20th, we have a full moon. And this full moon is at 27 degrees of Aries. Now, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, but full moons are about completions or endings. So there could be a mix of kind of endings and new beginnings here with this full moon. The full moon is saying, hey, there's something, a cycle of completion is happening, or we're needing to release and heal and let go of something. And whatever it is we're releasing, healing, and letting go has something to do with Aries, sign of the self, right? It's not that we want to release ourselves or release our sense of confidence or courage, which are all Aries keywords. But there's definitely this feeling of something new amongst something being released. Again, that death and rebirth. Just like we talked about Pluto turning back to direct motion and Pluto ruling that death and rebirth. So that full moon actually is square Pluto. Now, square aspect is a challenging aspect. So on the 20th, that full moon at 27 degrees of Aries is challenging Pluto. So there may be some sort of power and control issues. Could be with other people. Could be within ourselves. We might be kind of having a power struggle within ourselves as far as letting something go so that we can kind of move into a new path, right? That new path maybe was showing itself around the 6th of October when we had the new moon, but maybe we've been kind of holding on out of fear and anxiety of letting something go. And then perhaps by the 20th, the full moon squaring Pluto comes in and the volcano kind of explodes and says, it's time to release, it's time to let go. So we'll see what that's all about, again, on a collective level as well as a personal level. And then the very next day after the full moon, Mars, the warrior, is also challenging Pluto. So those couple of days, and maybe even a day or two leading up to that full moon, it's going to be quite an interesting time period. And Mars is in, again, the sign of Libra, sign of relationships and partnerships. So whether this, again, is romantic, work-related, family-related, friendship-related, there's some relationship things that are happening at that time. On the 22nd, the sun is moving out of Libra and into the sign of Scorpio, the next sign of the zodiac, where the sun will be for about the next month, which is typical for this time of year. Now, Scorpio rules, again, death and rebirth, transformation, regeneration, all those things that I talked about with Pluto, because Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio. So we have the depths of our subconscious, we have intense energy, we have the shadow side, we have research, we have things that are hidden, we have passion, we have the metaphysical, the occult, all of these things are Scorpio ruled. And then on the 30th, Mars moves out of Libra and into the sign of Scorpio. Now, whereas the sun will be in Scorpio for about a month, Mars is going to be in Scorpio from the 30th of October, right before Halloween, interestingly enough, until December 13th, almost the middle of December. And again, Mars is this assertive warrior energy, action, forward movement planet. And Scorpio is a fixed sign, meaning it doesn't give up easily. It's very focused, and it's focused on all the things Scorpio. It's focused on transformation. It's focused on regeneration. It's focused on being fixed towards its goal. It's focused on what one is passionate about, because Scorpio can be very passionate. It's putting energy towards our clairsentience abilities, because Scorpio is a psychic sign that deals with clear feeling or clairsentience. So those feelings, those psychic intuitive feelings, are on the increase and on the rise. It rules other realms as well, like getting in touch with our loved ones that have passed over. So that energy, with the sun and Mars both being in Scorpio, we might be more able to connect to those other realms in some way. So that is what's going on astrologically as far as the highlights. Let's go ahead and see what our angels and guides have to say for the month of October. So typically, my goal is to choose 3 cards for the month, and when I do the weekly readings, 3 cards. But as many of you that follow my readings often know, more than 3 cards fall out, which is typically how I like to have them give me the cards, is by having them kind of fly out of the deck. So this one was pretty easy. A lot was falling out, and they were falling out fast. But the first card came out by itself, and we have the Lovers card to start out. This is Major Arcana 6, the Lovers. Now again, that 6 of the Major Arcana, right, is the same as the number 6 for the month of October numerologically. Remember that 15 that reduces down to a 6. So interesting that the 6 shows up again. So home, family, balanced with life path and career, dealing with our emotional realm, dealing with balance of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, balance in all aspects of our lives. That's indicated, of course. We often think of the Lovers card as a focus on relationships, and we do start out, most of the month is sign of Libra, with the sun, with Mercury, with Mars up until almost the last day of the month. So there's a lot going on here with the focus on that balance and harmony within relationships. Do we have balance and harmony? Do we have equality and fairness? Or are things out of balance? Do we need to put more energy and effort and time into trying to rekindle that balance, or find that balance, have that equality, bring in that sense of justice to what it is that we desire within our partnerships, within all of our relationships? This, feels like a very passionate card as well. So I feel like this can bring in some magical energy. It can bring in some passionate energy. Oftentimes in the traditional tarot, interestingly enough, the Lovers card is about choices and decisions, almost like you're at a crossroads, right? The number 6, it's a number of balance. And if you picture yourself kind of at this crossroads, you can go right, you can go left. Which way are you going to go? Which decision are you going to make? Kind of being again with whatever situations and circumstances are going on, you might feel like you're in some sort of a crossroads regarding relationship matters or patterns in relationships, the healing of the sense of equality and connection with other people. So let's go ahead. I'm trying to see if there's any other symbolism here in the card. It's hard to really tell what that is. I mean, there's a lot of colors there, right? So we've got like the yellow stands out, which is our sense of personal power. So there might be some imbalances, again, with that Pluto energy kind of happening, the Pluto going direct, where there's an imbalance of personal power, or there's some disempowerment versus empowerment energies going on with that solar plexus chakra energy. We have a lot of green that shows up too, and the green is the heart chakra, right? the love, the nurturing, the peace, the balance, the compassion, the forgiveness, all of those things of the heart chakra are also highlighted. And then the blue looks pretty highlighted too, which is speaking our truth, throat chakra, right? So there might be some communications that we need to have with other people in our lives. We might need to be open, honest, authentic, and speak our truth, right? A lot of us sometimes especially with Libra energy, we don't want to say anything because we don't want to rock the boat. We want to keep the peace. We want harmony, so we don't say anything at all. But maybe it's time to communicate. Maybe it's time to speak up and say something and empower yourselves in the process. Okay, now the next card, the second card, came out as 2 cards. And the first of those cards is, the 5. I shouldn't say the 5 of chalices. This is like the 5 of cups in the traditional tarot. So again, we have this idea of the emotions, the emotional realm. There's an upset in the emotions. There's chaos, nervous energy, anxiety with the emotions. That's what the number 5 is. The number 5, again, busyness, chaos. The number 5 also means freedom. The number 5 means that there's a lot going on, which can sometimes bring in anxiety or nervous energies, or again, it's a little bit chaotic. And again, it's all in the realm of the emotions. So emotionally, we're feeling a little unstable. A lot of times this might mean that there's some challenges within our emotional realm or within relationships, which is often the case with the chalices or the cups. We might be feeling a little, anxious about something that's occurring, or we might be feeling even brokenhearted, as this woman in the picture is. She's sitting here by the water and looks like she's crying, right? And she's crying over the 3 spilt cups that are here, but she's not recognizing that 2 cups yet are standing. So it's not like everything's all lost. There's still some sort of hope. And again, the number 2, open, honest, equal kind of communications that need to happen, right? There needs to be this sense of balance and equality. So maybe not give up quite yet. We'll see what the rest of the cards say. But there's definitely something that's occurring that's bringing her a sense of despair or sadness or some sort of upset emotionally. Okay, and this might be even, again, in family as well as one-on-one relationships, because that number 6 that rules the whole month of October from a numerological perspective does rule home and family. So there might be something upsetting going on in the home and family as well. Now the card that came out with this, okay, it's another cups card, another chalices card. It's the Sage of Chalices. Now, the Sage in this deck is like the Queen in other traditional tarot decks. So this is like the Queen of Cups. So the Queen is a more mature being, right? We have the court cards are the Page, which is the youngest, most immature. Then we have the Knight, which is a little more mature than the Page, like teenager sort of, energy, but still kind of reactive and not totally grounded. Then we have the Sage with the Queen, and she's the divine feminine that is mature and that is grounded. And then we have the King. In this suit, it's called the Master. But the King is the masculine energy that's the most grounded and mature. So the Queen of Cups, she's very, it's kind of stable and secure within her own emotions, right? So it's interesting that it follows the 5 of chalices, right? So there is some sort of upset, but she very quickly, maybe she stays composed during the whole thing, whatever's going on. If not, she quickly composes herself. She has that sense of maturity. She has that sense of kind of stability within her own emotional actions and reactions. And she's able to communicate her feelings from a very clear perspective. So again, whether this takes a few days, because we do still have Mercury retrograde until the 18th of October, but at some point she's able to articulate what it is that she's feeling or what it is that she desires. And she's able to do it from a mature standpoint, without blame, without attack, without being aggressive. This is a loving queen, right? The queen of, or the sage of chalices, is a loving, mature woman that's able to talk about her feelings. Now, she still might be sad with whatever is going on, but she's able to kind of handle herself gracefully through whatever is going on, and speak of her emotions and how she's feeling regarding what's occurring. Okay, you see the kind of the waterfall in the background. So it's like the water, the emotions, the communication is clear, filtering very clearly, right? It's kind of harmonious and almost eloquent in a way. Okay, let's look at the last card. Okay, the last card is the Two of Orbs. This is like the Two of Swords in the traditional tarot. Now, twos, again, two people, right? It's about balance. The number two needs balance and harmony. The swords, or the orb suit, is a suit of the mind. It's the mental realm. It's our thoughts, our ideas, our perceptions, our communication. So again, this sense of balanced communication is indicated. First, we have to have balanced thinking. We have to have balanced perceptions of what's going on or what's transpiring. And then we have to have balanced communication. This might also be about juggling two or more things in our lives. But I definitely feel like there's something here that's needing to be communicated, since we have the Lovers, we have the Five of Cups, which is about the emotions, the Queen of Cups, the emotions, and now the Two of Orbs. This is the logical card. This is the eloquent with talking about the emotions. This is staying balanced and talking from an objective and logical standpoint. If you notice the imagery here, this woman has a dress on and part of herself is exposed. So we might be feeling a little exposed, if you will. We might be feeling a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Vulnerable. There we go. So we might be feeling a little vulnerable and exposed as we're communicating about our emotions or about what we're thinking or about what we're perceiving. But with these two cards, to me, it seems like we're doing it in a very balanced, mature kind of way. So that bodes well. Whether or not you're going to get the response that you want, at least we all know that you can kind of communicate what it is that you're feeling and thinking and perceiving in a kind of a balanced way with what it is that you're desiring to see or what you desire to have or experience within life or within situations or circumstances in your life or within relationships in your life. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what the special message card is depending on your stone of choice. Okay, so we're going to give this a little shuffle here. And the first stone of choice was the... I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. The Labradorite, thank you. Oh my goodness, I'm kind of in one realm and I have to kind of think now. Okay, so the Labradorite people, special message for those that chose the Labradorite. This one's calling my attention. Mintaken. Okay, Mintaken. I'm going to read what it says at the bottom. It says longing for home. Isn't that interesting that we have another home word there? Longing for home, or longing for the sense of belonging. And the Mintaken people are the original light workers. So this, first of all, can mean that you have a very old soul that has been here for a long, 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 long time, that you're part of the original group of souls of the light workers that came to this planet, which is why they long for their home. They feel that Earth is not their home. They don't feel comfortable here. They feel almost in a state of despair by what's going on the planet, right? They're, feeling sad about how people are acting or reacting within certain circumstances and situations. So they have this sense of longing for their home planet, which I believe Mintaken, I believe it was a planetary system that was destroyed and is no longer there. So it's like this forever longing for this sense of peace and harmony from their home planet, which is, again, this idea of a sense of belonging, wanting your tribe, wanting to feel like you belong, wanting to feel like you have a family, that you have friends that you can count on, that the world is your tribe, or that the world is stable, basically. And so whether it's on a collective level in that regards of wanting that belongingness and stability and sense of home, or whether this is more personal, that there's something going on within the home and family, or there's something going on in your significant emotional relationships, you don't feel like you're wanted or that you belong, maybe you're not feeling good enough, maybe you're feeling rejected, and you're just longing for something more. You're longing for something that you desire, that you do deserve, but maybe whatever is going on, you don't feel that it's there for you right now. So I want to say that, first of all, I feel like you need to maybe connect with those star beings, if you will. I mean, that was labradorite, that was connecting to the star beings. So connecting to that planetary system where the Mintakans came from. So just in meditation, call in the Mintakans, call in your soul family of light, ask them to give you a sense of peace and a sense of belonging, and to bring forth in this life, in this third dimensional reality. Ask them to help bring you in touch with those people that would be considered spiritual family or friendship or tribe, that you can feel like you're wanted and that you belong, that you can find those people that support and that love you. What else can we say about this? Oh, I just realized that that's a mermaid. So I believe, if I remember the story correctly, these were the mermaid people, the mermen and the merwomen were part of the Mintakans. So they have a close association with water, the ocean especially. So if you can get out by water, if you're close to the ocean, or even if you're close to a river, a lake, a stream, the water is going to help to soothe you. The water is going to help to kind of bring you back to yourself, bring you back to your heart chakra, and bring you in touch with your spiritual family. So get out near water, and even if you can't do that, I'd say take a bath. Just soak yourself in that water. Water has some sort of special meaning and quality for you right now. Okay, let's see what the special message is for the selenite people. Selenite, special message for the selenite people. Okay, this one's calling my attention. Birthing a new age. Birthing a new age. It's new beginnings, new moon, new beginnings. Birthing new creations. So that new moon in Libra, I think, is important, because Libra is an artistic and creative sign. And it says birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. So this new moon, and this circle around this person's standing kind of in a circle of stones. She's surrounded by this circle of light or universe. And a new moon often looks like that, right? A new moon is like you don't really see the moon. And that's what it reminds me of. So this new moon, I shouldn't say I want you to. Your angels and guides are asking to think about writing out what it is that you intend. What intentions do you have for this new moon? What new creations do you want to create? What new beginnings do you want to have set into motion? And then I feel like doing some sort of a ceremony, just as this person is out in the circle of stones, right? She's outside, she's under the stars, she's in the circle of stones, she's got the earth element with the stones here, she's got the air element with the universe here, could be a fire element here, you could light a candle. Like, I want to feel like you bring in all of the elements here, earth, water, air, fire, in some way in your ritual. And whether you do it outside under the stars or whether you do it indoors somehow, it doesn't really matter. But what matters is to imagine, visualize, meditate on what your intentions are, and even better if you can write them out, that can help with the manifestation process. But it's time to create something new. It's time to create a new beginning. And whether that new beginning is in work or finances or relationships or whatever area of your life you're looking for these new creations, this new creative energy, this bodes very well that if you do some sort of an intention ceremony or intention work, that you're going to be able to manifest over time what it is that you're seeking to manifest. That's a beautiful card. Okay, those of you that chose the Lemurian seed crystals. Lemurian seed crystals, special message for Lemurian seed crystals. Okay, this one's calling my attention. You're already doing it. Okay, you guys, you're already doing it. Your Lemurian brothers and sisters, your ancestors. So you're already doing it. Stop overthinking and keep facing your true north. So whatever your path is, whatever you want it to be, whatever you want to create, don't overanalyze, don't overthink, don't ruminate on the past. Just allow yourself to free flow, allow yourself to move forward. Basically, this is saying you are on your path. You are in alignment with your truth. You're not off track. You're not off timing. Even though it might seem like you're off track or off timing, this is saying you're not. You're exactly where you need to be at this time, and things are unfolding exactly as they should be. So if there's challenges going on, what are the lessons that they're asking you to kind of be aware of and learn? Or if there's challenges going on at this time, what strengths are you gaining that you can then utilize to manifest your goals and your dreams? If things are going kind of well, but yet you don't feel like you're moving forward, know that again, it's just about divine timing. Everything is exactly as it should be. So don't worry, don't be concerned, don't let your mind get in the way here. Again, stop overanalyzing, stop overthinking. Everything's okay and everything's moving in the direction that it should be. I'm looking at the scenery here on the card, and of course this person, they look like they're out amongst some trees here. There's mountains, there's water down here. Here's like what looks to me like some mountains or rocks. Here they're on this path. This path kind of comes around. It looks like the path goes over here. So, even it looks like there's a curve in the road of some sort. So that might be why you feel like you're off track or off your path. But sometimes there's curves in the road, right? Sometimes there's a turn, or a detour. So look at it as, I'm just on a little bit of a detour. I'm just kind of going around a curve right now. But you're still on the path. You're still on track with whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing. And whatever you're thinking about, intending, working towards, trying to manifest, they say keep doing it. That's the goal. Keep doing what you're doing and you'll get to where you want to go. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in for the monthly intuitive reading. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, sharing the video, commenting on the video. Thank you for all of your love and support, especially in my time of transition and moving. I send you all lots of love and light and many, many blessings.